Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Chart Prime 101. So today we are going to be taking any and all kind of questions. Remember, today is 101. So if you have any questions or about the indicators, this is the time in the class to ask them, especially if they are beginning friendly questions, or well, if you have any sort of question, please feel free to ask those in this class. So we can go over, I don't know, maybe setups or just the overall markets. But in the meantime, while we have, hey, here it is, Mr. Alex. Oh, how is it going, brother?
I'm great, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, fantastic. Oh man, I am waiting for those shorts, bro. I am so ready to show the market. By the way, what a pump Saturday.
I told you the moons, bro. I told you the moons, man.
You did. You
The
did. You
moons.
absolutely did. Another thing that did not show out Saturday was somebody for gaming.
Yeah, I didn't feel like, I didn't feel like
Yeah.
embarrassing you too bad. I just wanted to let you have your time. Uh and
Oh man.
allow
I,
you to
I,
sometimes as a friend, you're supposed to let your other friends get a victory. So
oh man. Oh
So
dude.
it's all love,
I love
bro.
it. Love it.
No, I had family stuff, bro. So no, that's
No,
cool. I
I
dropped
know. I
by. I said
know.
hello.
Yeah, absolutely, and I really, really appreciate it. Oh, by the way, that's my beautiful wife coming over. Hey.
Hey, chica
Passing over.
bonita. Hey, watch out. Hey, calm
And
down. Look.
what?
OC's microphone's going up. Ooh.
It's jumping, man. It's jumping. uh, but no, absolutely. I mean, I was a last minute notice that I mentioned you the thing. So I'm gonna be trying to do it every Saturday if you have a chance, or whenever you have a chance. I don't know if you're still golfing on Saturday. Let me know. So maybe we can fix those timings for you to come over. That'll be fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, I should. I don't know. Weekends are hard for me, man, because it's like with the little one, man. Try to spend time in that, but
I
we
absolutely
might be
understand.
able to
Yeah.
work something out.
Yeah, absolutely. So whenever you have time, let me know if you have a window, and then I'll just change the time and date for you to be able to join. By the way, whoever doesn't know, Saturdays I'm gonna start trading in gaming at the same time. I don't promise good trades. I don't promise good gaming. All right, but a lot of
Definitely not
fun.
good gaming.
Absolutely. What is it? Oh man.
You were
But
like 0 for 3 when I started watching, man. You're getting yeah, they were
no, it
kicking your
was.
butt on the
Yeah,
gaming.
they were kicking my butt. Absolutely, absolutely. I need to own to it. I'm
But
not
it
the
was trading
best.
good.
Two. I mean, two wins, one loss wasn't that bad, but yeah. But the point is that for some reason, when we started the game, it was pretty good, and then out of the sudden, the lag came in, and that was pretty horrible. So maybe because of the streaming and gaming at the same time, I'm not sure. Or but I was doing also like online cloud gaming. So next time I'll just try to download the thing and do it that way. I think that worked better. But yeah, talking about trading. How was your morning, my friend?
It was it was a dump, and I managed to get one long and then quit. I made $300.
Love
Had a
it.
perfect like 786 slap and go, caught the bottom. And since then I haven't entered anything. We have a break of momentum trying to push up right now, but we can take a look if you guys want. Always important to reflect on the trading. And there's some questions in there about alerts and stuff. Maybe you can address those after OC. But looking here at Bitcoin, clearly, same thing, right? That same 1 a.m., 3 a.m. dump thing right here. So you get, our all time highs being up here. You get your three drives, 1, 2, 3, and break a structure, and then you're looking for the retest of previous lows, which is right here. So that would have been your short entry right there. Obviously, I'm not typically up at 5 in the morning, so actually I could have maybe. Anyways, could I identify this rollover? So big rollover coming in here. So for me, I typically like to pull like an impulse fib, I call it. So it would be from the most closest low to where the price action was. So that would be from here to here. And we had a 786 slap. Let's zoom in here. And it was this candle right here. Look at this, OC. Boom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, in a massive like 0.5% push. So I made like quick $300 on that candle. Just waiting and waiting and waiting, and then I saw the aggressive dip into that area. Was looking there, and then caught that right back up. And then prices since really lollygagged, like gone really slow around here. Since right, you have like the bull div into a previous day pivots, which is right here. You have your 786 of the range right here, and you have your orb defined right now. So your orb has held, which is consolidation sideways for a Monday. You know, for me right now, it's about trying to stay level-headed. Also, take note that this is your value area high of the range, and we're currently trying to hold onto that in order to flip upwards. So if you're looking generally at this on like a higher term time frame, which is what you should always do, that's how I was able to catch that trade this morning. Was you can see here we obviously have our range. Okay, even if we put on our structure here, we can see that we've clearly pushed up. Okay, almost getting to our premium, which would be all-time highs, right? However, we are very overextended in this range right now. So you can see that we have this predictive range in here. Okay, that would be the predictive range. You can see we're all the way up at the purple here, getting the rejection, coming back and retesting the gray. Okay. Equilibrium being down here, which is the point of control. Money flow point of control is just above here. So can we breakout, retest, continue, right? That would be the larger outlook. I'm sure OC sees that, but he's also probably seeing all this liquidity in here. And he's also seeing, what did we talk about last week? We warned everybody. We could get the push, but be prepared to get absolutely wrecked on the push and dump, right? So we had that, but be prepared for something like this before we continue. Okay, I said it would be a little bit tighter here. So looking for that. We all like it a little bit tighter, and looking for that to roll over here. Okay, so be prepared for something like this. Not to say that we aren't here. Okay, we could be here, right? We could be here and we could be going. I'm not saying that's not true. I'm just saying be prepared. Because what they want to do, like whenever the market is in this kind of situation here, and you get this, I guess, your manipulation, if you're a smart money concept, and then a distribution, right? So accumulation, manipulation, distribution. I'm not a smart money concepts guy. This is how they trade it though. Okay. So that would be your accumulation, your manipulation, your distribution. Okay. Same thing in here, right? So you can see that. So whenever this occurs, right, they're trying to wreck as much people as possible. That's because we are bullish, right? Because ETH is going, ETH is ripping, right? And alts are ripping. Okay. What they want to do is get you into a position up here so that they can wreck you coming back this way. They want to make you FOMO at the top, right? And if you're not OC, you probably don't know how to make money by buying the top. So make sure we're looking for pullbacks and then continuation. So if we're looking for the major pullback, it would definitely be at this $118,000 level. Okay, that would be my very key area of interest to see if this range holds going forward. Okay, that would be your special level. Now, if that fails to hold, then you're definitely coming down for the lows of the range, which would be about 115 to 114. Okay, but this would be our first level of interest. Now, altcoins, some of them have ripped, some of them have been pretty flat. So you're gonna have to, find some winners, but I wouldn't be surprised if they rugged everybody here after everybody getting super bullish over the weekend. You can see Ethereum obviously hitting some major levels here, getting up at $4,300, right? All-time highs is 48. But I would expect us to put in some sort of volume in here before we get up into the all-time highs on Ethereum. Okay, I wouldn't even be surprised if we retested these highs. Okay, that would be kind of my first area that I'd be looking to possibly get a long going on ETH if I was interested in trading ETH, which I typically don't like trading ETH because it front runs your levels like crazy. So another thing to point out for you guys is also that we have a big CME gap down at the point of control. Okay, so over the weekend, obviously, anytime there's a weekend pump, we should always be aware that we could come back to grab that gap, which has like a 97% hit rate of happening. And the thing is, when we start to gap up on this time of the year, so in the bull run, okay, these gaps can be filled in the bear market. So that's another thing I'll warn you guys about is that, okay, everybody, my whole community, CME gap, right? Like, yeah, but remember, like, even if we go back in time, right, and we look at our previous bull run, right, you can have these absolute missiles. Look at this one here. Okay. And it's not recovered until bear market. Okay. Okay. So be aware of this because in bull runs, right? Look at this one here, right? Typically, they're not going to be, because price is starting to get pretty euphoric. So it doesn't necessarily mean we have to come back and recover these immediately. Okay. It just means that they're an area of interest. Okay. But typically, a lot of the time, even if they gap in here, they typically happen, right? And that's something that we should always be aware of. But it doesn't necessarily have to happen immediately. It can be, now that we're getting into this kind of stage, I would say that we're about here or here, okay? Where we're looking for a 5-wave structure to the upside kind of deal, or just that impulsive leg, okay? But just remember, sometimes these CME gaps are left behind to only be recovered in the bear market. So you don't have to, as we get higher and as price continues to push, you don't have to put as much weight on the gaps because you would typically see them recovered in a bear market. Okay. Which if we're going to go down possibly in 2026, 2027, then that would be an easy recovery, right? Like if we're going to correct, typically at minimum, it's 50%. So even if we only correct 30%, right? We're still easily coming for that stuff, okay? Okay? So be aware of that. Like CME gaps they're great to acknowledge, but don't base your trading solely based off that. That's all I'm trying to say. Throwing it back to you, OC.
Absolutely. So let me just answer a couple of questions in here. Let me bring up my screen, and I want you guys to ignore that long that I have on my screen for now. I want to explain that in a little second. But let me go first and answer the Market Oracle. So if you have the Market Oracle Pro, that is our best proven setup or indicators, right? Then we have another one, which is the Pro Plus. That one is we get together our affiliates, our influencers, and they added to what they wanted to have on the Pro Plus. And that's why it's just a quote-unquote experimental. It's not experimental, but it is the perspective of a collaboration. It's a work of collaboration between Chart Prime and other traders. So that's why it's a different setup in here. Something that we added on the Market Oracle Pro, it is on the dashboard. And let me add it here so we can see it. Let me just minimize this stuff. All right, let me also turn everything off. And of course, let me hide everything so we can see it here. So if you go into your indicators and you add from invite only, your Market Oracle, where is it? Pro. Market Oracle Pro. This is it. All right, let's just wait a little second for it to load. Perfect. You also see that we have in here, let me just turn off my linear regression oscillator. And why do I have this one? Oh, I see. Here it is. All right, perfect. You also see that on your Market Oracle Pro, you have the prophecy. All right, so the prophecy, it is an indicator that tells you whether we should be pumping or dumping. All right, this is a trend-based warning system. All right, how it works is that when you see pump, you should be expecting for the market to pump. And look at that. Are we pumping? Yes, we're pumping. But the most important, how to use your prophecy here, it is as soon as it changes. So you need to be aware when this changes. So every day come in here and watch it. And as soon as it changes, that's when you start changing your bias. All right. Something important that we added on the Market Oracle Plus, because that was a request for our affiliates, here it is that we added, and let me just add it here, instead of having the prophecy being built in, let me go back to the Market Oracle Pro, all right? Your prophecy being built in on your dashboard, like in here, dashboard prophecy, all right? This is the Pro version. The Plus version, by request, it was asked for us to move the prophecy into the chart, all right? And then you can add a max profit or take profit based on your prophecy here. So when I click OK and turn that on, let's wait for it to load. And for some reason, it's just not showing. Why is it not showing? Let me see. Maybe I just need to turn on trendy, autopilot, in prophecy. You will have a prophecy buy up or sell out. There it goes. As you can see, it's much higher in between time frames. So you have a sell out and a buy up. So this is your prophecy buy and your prophecy sell, or bearish or bullish, just so you know. So other than that, that's what this is. So again, right now I'm gonna turn off trendy, turn on autopilot, and turn off for now my my prophecy here. I'm gonna be just turning on these things, and that is it. So yeah, that is just to answer how prophecy works and what is also the plus version. All right, having said that, let me just get rid of this Pro here. Perfect. So I have less indicators. Let me bring up what I have. So far I have this one, and this is what I got for my configuration. And something important is that we have broken the previous range. All right. So we have the first range in here. We broke the support of the range right here. Let me just make this clear. So we have this range. We break the support. We have, in my perspective, a Wyckoff spring, and then we're breaking the higher range. If we take a look at the range as a flat range, this would be the resistance. So it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. So that's why I had a long in here. In caveat, and this is what I told you, ignore this long for now. Why? Because Alex have talked about acceptance into ranges before, and I also have explained it differently. But let's do a little mashup in here, and let me show you what I always draw for you guys. If we have a range, whatever kind of range, it could be a flat range, it could be a downwards range, it could be an upwards range, it could be a triangle, it could be whatever you like, whatever pattern you like, a symmetrical pattern. So that means that if you have the price action coming in here, and you, first of all, you fake out, and then how do you know you're faking out? Because you start closing back inside of the range. I call it a fake out. I think Alex calls the acceptance back in the range or in the pattern, if I'm not mistaken. This right here, propulsions or increases of around 30% chances. So increases your chances to go up. They increase in 30% to get to the other side of the range. it doesn't guarantee that you're going to be breaking out in continuation. No. What it guarantee or what it increases the chances to hit the next resistance here. All right. So let's take a look at what happened on this flat range, calculated as a flat range. All right. We went down, we went back up, we created the fake out because we created a lower high. After a lower high, a higher high. And what happened here? Acceptance back into the range. Also, back above the dynamic reactor. Breakout, retest, continuation, and hit the top of the range. Perfect. Something that, and that's what I have this. Let me show you really quickly. And for that, let me just turn on this one here. This is my linear regression oscillator, by the way, that give me the blue candles. All right. But in here, since, and we draw this here, since July 29th, we were expecting a possible breakup of the to the top. And then after we have this rejection, we were expecting the sweep of the lows in here. Where that's where we had the meeting, the FOMC meeting. All right, so we were expecting that coming back down. We nailed this with half of an entry, perfect entry right here. And then what reminds our next possible entry right here for a short. Important. What was the strategy? Half of an entry here, half of an entry there. Why there? I know half of an entry because we had a blue line for resistance. Right now, what we have, it is not a blue line, but somewhere in between our purple and gray line. So this was a movement that we were expecting here, all right? So coming back down, and we are right here on break it or make it. Hopefully you guys took that short. I was waiting for that short since I think Thursdays and Fridays, if I'm not mistaken, and I was preparing for that. And all right, what happened here? We are on the support. What I always tell you is not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and off you go. How do you go about that retest, right? So what is the science, quote unquote science of it? First, I would like to at least have some strength in here. What is strength? Pushing upwards on my ADX, right? I would like to have, what's that? Am I giving you a headache? Am I too loud or something?
Science, baby.
Science. Oh, I see. I did not click to that. I just saw like, oh man, like headache thing. So what's the science behind it? Is that we want to have some sort of bounce in your oscillator, all right? Easy as that. Our RSI prime has some red candles in here, so that is not bouncing. Yes, we have had, for example, in this case, we have some ranging, also some red candles, and then we switched to the upside. Perfect. That's something that we could be looking for, like for example in here where we range down and then go up. Maybe we have one or two and then we hold this area. That will be then on your next candle going up your entry. All right, I mean, if you really want to jump right now, be my guest. I mean, there's nothing stopping you, physically stopping you. All right, I'm not telling you not to. In fact, I would be saying, well, that will be a good option if we close that candle as is. So we don't want to have acceptance back into the range. So that's why I'm giving it some timing here to see how that closes. And based on how that closes, I'm going to be looking into my oscillator. And then based on my oscillator, I'm going to be looking for a flip of the ribbon, a carrying or going up on my money flow, and of course having my here is my volume matrix still stable. Something important is that we already have maxed out right here of our power bar. When we max out on our power bar, all right, in green, we already at the top, and most likely we're going to retrace. So this is actually what I'm expecting. I am expecting acceptance back into the range. So if we have that, well, then we're going to go exactly for what Alex mentioned, liquidity to be grabbed at this zone. How do I know that? Because order blocks, there we go. Because money flow and because our money flow POC. All right, so easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So for me, it's time to wait. And based on that, I'm looking at a couple of other stuff, like for example, INA. INA, it's looking juicy if we can cut this short, because we have a parabolic movement. A parabolic movement, it's meant to retrace. Why? Really quick, if you want to the science behind it, if you have an X and Y, and you have a parabolic movement like this, you'll see that the parabolic movements start going parallel to your X variant there. Sorry, your Y variant or your SC variant, whatever variant you want to see it this way, all right? Because you can flip it, but whatever. So the point is that you go on to infinite. But can you go into infinite pricing here? Have we ever seen infinite price? No, of course not. Which means if you cannot reach infinite, it must break out. All right. So any parabolic movement, and how do you know it's a parabolic movement? Because you cannot draw a trend line onto it. Like for example, let me give you another here. All right. So look at how we have a curve in here. On a curve, you cannot really grab the bottom and then the top and have the price action just to bounce on it. It doesn't work. All right. So what you got here is you have a parabolic movement, and then that parabolic movement, when it tries to go to infinite, it just breaks, or it breaks. And when it breaks, because it's just equationally impossible, well then that's when you get your retracement. All right. That's what I'm expecting right now. That infinite reach out. So when it tried to reach infinite, it fails. So there's my parabolic movement, and based on my parabolic movement, what I can do is create a tangent. This tangent on the parabola, based on where liquidity resides, that's why when I'm going tangent on that parabola, right? That is what my trend line for be broken. So I'm expecting again maybe a double top or something like that flags out to the right and then dies out to dynamic reactor. If we hit dynamic reactor, we could be reaching or getting a 21.24% no leverage as a short. So for me, that I usually use a 10x. Sorry about that. That I use a 10x. Well, that for me would be in the best case scenario a 212% gains on a single trade. So Gary is asking, INA entry now on short? No, that's not what I said. Let me tell you right now. So I have a parabola. You enter a parabola when it tries to reach to infinity, when it breaks the structure. The structure is your parabola. When you break the parabola, that's your entry, especially when you have a pullback on your parabola. So that's what it is. It's not an entry right now. It is not an entry as long as we don't break the structure. So, Gary, does that make sense? Let me know. So another one, that if you don't like to all of the science behind the parabolic stuff and all of that bullshit, it's not bullshit. But if it's just too much science for you, and that is completely fine, we have, by the way, is something that does it for you, and it's completely free. So you just need to like add your, what is it? Or here, Gauss trend crossing. Your Gauss trend crossing. Oh, look at that! And almost manually had mine. All right, you can adjust how big of a parabolic movement it measures, and based on that parabola. Right, and based on that parabola, measure where is your liquidity, and based on that liquidity on the parabola creates your tangent, and that's gonna be your trend line. So that's it. All right. What is market prophecy there? Already explained it. Hello. Come back and watch the recording. The prophecy, it is a it is a trend-based indicator. There is a trend-based indicator. That's what the prophecy is. It will show you when we are on a bullish trend. So it will prophesize that you should be going higher. And as soon as you see your prophecy changing from pump to dump, that's when you should be changing your bias. All right, so that is. So Alo, hopefully that again answers your question. If not, please come back and watch it again. The important part, because I already have gone through that, the important part is when you change your prophecy, don't catch it as already have played out. As soon as it changed from pump to dump, that's when you change your bias. So hopefully that answers your question, Alo. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at, Ina. I'm also looking at something. Where is it? Solana. By the way, Alex, shout out to Alex at Crypto. He mentioned on Friday, you most likely we're gonna have a pump on Solana, and guess what? We did. And right now, we're having almost what I was expecting right here on INA. We have some sort of parabolic, not quite there parabolic, but because we can create a trend line. We have broken the trend line. It's not about your breakout, it's about your retest, double top. You already have our peak performance coming back down. The only thing that I need, it is my diamond, my reversal diamond in here, and breaking the neckline. If I start breaking that neckline, well then first I'm going to be looking for my oscillator. Let's bring up my oscillator. Look at that. In some other zone, I would be telling you, it's not about the breakout, it's about your retest, and off we go. All right. But looking at your oscillator, I want you guys to notice the clouds on your oscillator. By the way, Alo, please let me know if I answer your question. I'm really interested in have answered what you're asking, because this is a class for that. Although I explained it twice, if you want me to explain it one more time, I'll be more than happy, right? I just don't want for you to feel that, yeah, we already talked about it. Go watch, go come back, all right? I don't want to push that feeling. Let me know. If I answer the prophecy question, let me know, please. If I haven't, also let me know. All right, coming back into your clouds. What is a cloud? The big cloud behind the ribbon here. That is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. You see that? So look at how this cloud is very compressed right now, right? Not the ribbon, the cloud, the red and green cloud behind the ribbon. So look at that compression. And most important, the location of that cloud. All right. This is like shaking your pop. This is like shaking your soda can. All right. If you're a nerd, you know that doesn't change pressure. But if you're not a nerd, it's just like building up pressure. All right. So just a quick reference there. And let's go back in time really quickly. And I want you guys to notice what happens when we have that kind of compression. I'm looking for the same kind of compression that we had in here. So maybe this one, we can actually circle this one in here. But it's not quite as big as compressed. But I think, oh, here it is. Look at the compression in this cloud. All right. What happens on that compression? Look at this compression. What happens when we break that compression? We burst with strength to the other way where that compression is at. All right. There it is. Look at your compression. And look at the result as we're bursting up. All right. So the other way around, how would that look in the other way around? Well, very easy. If we are at the top and we have a lot of compression, what do you think is going to happen? Not only that, we have a bearish divergence, we have a two peak seekers, and we have a double top. We just need to give it a second here. I see I got tagged in there. Let me see. Oh, see, I only have one blue moon on the oscillator. Are there different settings? What are you talking about, my friend? I have only one blue moon. I have no idea. Is that a joke? I guess.
The-
I'm waiting for you to explain, Alex.
I'm as
Huh?
confused as you are, my
Oh,
brother.
I see. All right. I thought it was a joke that I was not getting. Is upload a picture here. Maybe we can help you. But a blue moon. We don't know for anything with moons, as far as I know.
The blue dot on the oscillator.
Oh, the blue dot on the
The peak
oscillator.
seeker.
Oh, got it. Blue is the blue dot. Oh, got it. Sorry for that, Gare. I see. I was a little confused there, my friend. All right. That might be because you're not on Binance. Sometimes based on the volume that they or how they share their volume. Let me bring this up
Yeah,
so
it's
you can see
depending
the
on the
difference.
exchange. Sometimes it can be different.
Exactly. For example, right here, let's take a look at, for example, Solana USD, Binance, right? If I go to another one, I bet you it's going to be slightly different, both in price action to anything else. Like, for example, right here, perpetual Binance, let's see. And this one, oh, come on, US dollar Binance. And, well, it's just saying Binance. Why don't I have anything other? Solana and something that is not Binance. This one could make the difference. Let's just give it a second. And yep, at this point we don't have peak seeker, right? And that is because of the volume, how they push the volume into trading view. But I like Coinbase, I like Binance, and I like for Bitcoin. My favorite one that
Bybit.
usually, yeah, Bybit. But my favorite one that usually gives me the best results on Bitcoin, it's Bitstamp. I don't know why. Oh, by the way,
Yeah,
we are
that's
now
like a dinosaur, bro.
fine. What? Oh, this one here. By the way, by the way, look at what
Uh-oh.
played out fantastically here. Two legs, one long neck, a little face in here, and boom.
I
Who
said if we
thought?
consolidate and into the weekend, it's a perfect
Yes.
balloon dog. And boom, shakalaka. This is why there's a balloon dog on my desk.
Love it. What a pattern, brother. What a pattern.
Fire, man. Absolute fire.
Fire. All right, guys. We're running a little bit off time. Alex, if you want to show anything else, let me know, and we can take a look at anything else.
Yeah, just finishing up here for you guys. We can take a look here quickly. What we're looking at too is ETH right now trying to break out, right? So for me, can we flip this as
Fuck
support,
it.
right? That's something that I would definitely be watching here. If we can get above here, we do have a nice uptrending momentum, but for now, it's questionable, right? Like this would be the top of the range, right? So really, we should be looking for shorts, but we'll see how it goes, right? Like a little Monday FOMO. What I do see typically on days like this is that you typically will get a rug on Monday, which is called Monday false move for a reason. So you can see that a lot of the altcoins are down 2, 3, 4%. This might be the opportunity to jump into some longs, okay? Not saying to do it just yet. I do have a possible trade on SWE right now that's possibly coming to fruition. Not there yet. I haven't decided yet. I would like to see a break of structure really on these. So confirm bottoming structure, but a little bit of patience, a little bit of a rug this morning. You know, Bart Simpson is done. So can we continue to push? We'll have to wait and find out. Getting above orb right now. Closing above orb is a bullish sign. You got some resistance. If we can get above VWAP in here, if we can get above VWAP and continue to push, look at the order blocks in here, right? So even if Bitcoin does, retrace in here, we could still be looking for a very simple rejection. But if we can get above and hold orb and hold VWAP, I would look for us to attack that all-time high. So be aware of that. I want to see signs of strength. Right now, it's kind of flat, right? So either they're chopping longs and they're going to rug everybody because the trend is down right now, everybody in this area. Yes, 4-hour trend up. Okay, this low needs to be lost for 4-hour trend. But right now, short-term time frames suggest that we could still come back down to this area in here. So be prepared for that. Thank you for being here, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Absolutely. One quick question here, Lila. What is the Bravo 9 and how do you use it? All right, so for how to use it, you can go check out the Bravo channel, or you can go here into the Bravo. Let's see, Bravo tutorials. By the way, only Bravo users can access this. So if you cannot see it, that's fine. Don't worry. Plus you can get it right here on your indicators. Invite only. Bravo Kit. Oh, I'm not sharing. All right. Sorry. Indicators. Come on. Indicators at the top. Invite only. Bravo Kit. Or if you get the lifetime, Bravo Kit Pro. All right, but let's go for Bravo Kit. Let's wait for it to load right here, and that's it. Let me just minimize this so we can have enough. You go to your setup in here, and you have your Bravo 9. How do you know you got it? Because you have your 9 count in here, 7, 8, 9. And there you go. You use it as a reversal. But go check out how Bravo himself uses it on his YouTube channel. That's how you... this is just an overall perspective of how, where is it and how to use it. So Lila, hopefully that answers your question. Very quick there. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining. Write down your questions, so tomorrow you can copy and paste them here and we can go over those. And if you have and have a wonderful Monday. See you guys tomorrow.